Welcome to Rants and Reels. Today, I am going to go see Robin Hood. Yes, another Robin Hood movie. Hey, it could be interesting. Little known director. He hasn't done too much. He did, I think, at least one episode of the Black Mirror, which is a fantastic series. So let's see what he can do with Robin Hood. Be right back.
This is the story of a thief.
You wanted to steal. Now's your time.
He stole from the rich and gave to the poor.
What else you got?
I call him Robin Hood. It's got a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Okay, so I asked before going into this movie whether or not we need another Robin Hood. The answer to that question is a resounding no, we don't. Unless it's good. I don't know. Unless it's a film that doesn't crap all over the source material. It is one of the worst renditions of Robin Hood I have ever seen. And I've seen all of them. Robin Hood was always a favorite story of mine growing up. It was one of my favorite books. Most of the films have been, kind of fun. They've either kept to the spirit of the story or they've given it some new twists, but it's still been neat. It's been basically the same story, the same characters. Not this one. No. The characters are not the same. The story is not the same. Maybe it's kind of interesting where they were trying to go with this story, but they didn't sell it. It became just overwrought and cheesy to the point of being ridiculous. There wasn't a single actor that didn't spend just an obscene amount of time chewing the scenery to death. There was no restraint shown, no attempt at all for, ridiculous as it sounds, for historical accuracy. Yeah, it's a fictitious story, it's a legend, but if you're going to take that legend, that old story, I guess a folktale, folktale. If you're going to take that and have it set in the period in time in which it was originally set, you should at the very least make some attempts at representing that period of time at all. Everything was wrong. Like, not even like a little bit, not like, off or so by, a few years. We're talking about modern concepts, modern dress, modern some more modern weaponry, things you didn't see in the Dark Ages, really, the story's pre-Renaissance. There's a lot that just doesn't fit. Beyond costuming, beyond manners of speaking, you can get away with, fudging costume, fudging speeching. You can get away with pushing the manner of speech and the dialogue and the language, but when you are inventing there was too much. Too much suspension of disbelief, and I couldn't buy it. I could not buy into the concept that they were trying to sell with this film. The pacing was just terrible. It didn't seem that there was any attempt at all to pace the film. It was they tried to move from one nonsensical scene to the other without. They started out with very heavy-handed exposition, and then they completely abandon all exposition to the point where things just, you're guessing basically at what's supposed to be happening in the story. It was so uneven, so poorly paced. If it weren't so flashy and loud, I probably could have had a nice nap. It is one of the longest feeling films that I have watched, and it is less than 2 hours long. And it feels really, really long. I think I checked my watch 5 or 6 times. I don't hate this film, but I didn't enjoy it. I don't like it. I think it was very poorly made. It winds up looking like a made-for-TV film from the 90s. That's the visuals were bad, the effects were bad, the staging was ridiculous, the plot made no real sense. It could have made sense. They could have worked it out, but they didn't take the time. They didn't take the adequate time to actually develop it. There were just too many things it just didn't work on any level. So, yeah, maybe, when it hits your streaming service, the streaming service of your choosing, give it a watch. But have a few drinks, because that's the only way I can see you'd really get any enjoyment out of this, and get a group of friends and have drinks and laugh, make fun of it, do the Mystery Science Theater, give it the Mystery Science Theater treatment, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find some enjoyment. But it's aside from that, not worth your time, not worth your money. And I feel really bad because not even Tim Minchin could save this film. And Tim Minchin, fantastic comedian, fantastic writer, musician. I don't really have any complaints about him specifically. His character was kind of crap, but he did a good job with it. He probably did the best job out of anybody. I mean, well, I guess that's not really fair. That's not really fair for me to say of these actors. The actors all did fine, but the material was very ham-fisted. They had no real way to play this other than over the top. I think I resent the time that this film has taken from me at this point. So hopefully I save somebody that same fate. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, everybody.